Hello, and welcome back to my podcast, Conversations with My Clients. Today, I am going to be talking about water, H2O, good old fashioned water, but more specifically, hydration, because hydration is very important if you want to live a healthy lifestyle. Why? Because we are literally made of water. Most of our body is water. So when we are dehydrated, even by just the tiniest amount, even just 1% of dehydration can actually affect how we behave cognitively. So it literally can affect how we are thinking. And if you have ever experienced brain fog, then you will know all about this. So today's topic is water, and specifically how to drink more water. One of my clients has been really struggling with this, so I thought that this would be a really helpful podcast to record. So how much water should we be drinking? And as with most nutritional recommendations, the answer is it depends. It is a very individualized thing. The government will generally recommend that people should be having between 1.5 liters and 2 liters of fluid per day. They don't specify water, they say fluid. So that might include things like tea, milk, coffee. It doesn't include alcohol. Alcohol dehydrates us, so that doesn't count towards fluid that is considered hydrating. However, these are very generic guidelines. So if you want to work out how much water you should be drinking individually, a really easy formula to use is to figure out what is 3% of your total body weight in kilograms. Sorry, I should specify in kilograms. So 0.03 times whatever your total body weight is in kilograms. So for example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you would times that by 0.03, and that would come out at 2.1 liters per day. If you weigh 100 kilograms, that will come out at 3 liters per day. So you get my gist. You can figure out what you need. Now this, it's important to note, will give you the minimum amount of water that you should be aiming to drink every day. This will change if you are exercising. You will need more water. Even if, like me, you don't find yourself to be a sweaty person, you are still losing excess water through breathing. You will be sweating more than when you're not exercising, so you need to be drinking more. You also need to be drinking more if you are pregnant, which is challenging because when you're quite heavily pregnant and you've got a baby pressing down on your bladder, the last thing you want to be doing is drinking more water, but sadly, you do need to be drinking more water. And also when you're unwell or ill, you need to be drinking more than the minimum amount recommended just to help kind of flush everything out. Now, saying that, there's always a caveat. Your body is very clever at figuring out whether you are needing to drink some water or not. The first key thing is, am I thirsty? Thirst usually comes when you are already dehydrated. It's a great indicator that you need to have something to drink. Going to the toilet a lot is a great indicator that maybe you are a bit too hydrated. And actually, looking at what you have done in the toilet in terms of the color of your urine is another good indicator on how well hydrated you are. So if your wee is like dark orange and looks like Lucozade, if you even know what Lucozade is, then you probably want to be drinking some water. If you are basically peeing out water, if your wee is so clear, then you are probably fine. So, listen to your body for the signs of hydration as well. Now, sometimes water just won't cut it. If you're really dehydrated, water might not be enough. So if you have done a massive event, like if you've done a massive run, you've done a marathon, or even a half marathon is pretty massive. If you've taken a part in a CrossFit event, something where you have expended a lot of sweat, a lot of energy. If you've been unwell and you're just feeling kind of out of sorts. If you're hungover, when you're really dehydrated after you're hungover, water sometimes just doesn't cut it. In these situations, you probably are better off adding some electrolytes to your water, and that should help bring things back into balance. I remember back in the day when I was drinking regularly and heavily, my favorite hangover cure was Powerade. And that has heaps of electrolytes and all sorts of things that can kind of bring you back to more normality. Okay, so to get to the crux of it, most people aren't drinking enough water. And if you are one of those people, here are my top tips on how you can increase your water consumption. So, first of all, find some ways to build it into your routine. So, something that I've actually just started myself is having a glass of water first thing in the morning before you have anything else. So, while I'm waiting for my coffee machine to warm up, I will have a glass of water. So, if you boil the kettle, have a glass of water while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Whatever you do in the morning, make it part of your routine that you have a glass of water before you continue to do anything else. I'm assuming most people have a coffee or a tea at least first thing in the morning. Anyway, tip number 2, try and drink a glass of water before every meal. So before you have your breakfast, before you have your lunch, before you have your dinner, have a glass of water before you eat. This actually has added bonuses because this is actually going to help aid digestion, gets your digestive system working in advance of the food coming. And having water in advance of your meal can really help if you are prone to overeating as well. So Brucey bonus with that one as well. Now, if you are a desk-based worker, a really good trick is to take a big bottle of water, fill it up with water at the beginning of the day, have it on your desk so you can visually see it, and set yourself the target to have finished that bottle by the time you've finished your workday. If you are not desk-based and you are constantly moving around all the time, get yourself a bottle and take it everywhere with you. So make sure it's gorgeous, like a fancy bottle or a keep cup, like something that you just love, so you want to take it everywhere. You're always going to forget your reused pure pump bottle, but if you've got something gorgeous that you just can't wait to drink out of it, you're more likely to remember it and take it places with you and then drink from it. If you are somebody that forgets to drink water, there are apps that you can get that will literally remind you throughout the day to drink water. So you can track your water consumption on them and you can set reminders. So it will tell you throughout the day to drink something, and then you can log what you've drank. And, it's quite a fun little game. So just go to your app store. There are so many of them. Just type in water reminder in the app store and lots of different options will come up. So you can have a look and see which one floats your boat. If you don't really want any more apps on your phone, just set yourself an alarm. Set yourself a series of alarms that go off throughout the day to remind you to drink some water. Now, water is boring, to be honest, but you can make it more interesting. So you can buy really cool things now that help you to infuse different flavors into water. So you could just buy a jug and chop up some fruit, put some water in, put it all in the fridge, let those flavors really infuse. This is really nice with things that are quite strong, like grapefruit or oranges. Watermelon is a really nice one. So you can let those flavors kind of infuse overnight, and then your water has a nice, gorgeous taste to it. So that means you're more likely to drink it. Or you can do, if it's hot, less relevant in the winter, but if it's hot, make it look like a cocktail. So you've got your water, ice, get some frozen berries in there, get some mint sprigs, make it look lovely and exciting, and pretend it's a gin and tonic, and you're probably more likely to drink that. But finally, if you just don't like to drink water at all, even by adding stuff to it, drink herbal teas. So herbal teas are another option. It's just a hot flavored water, essentially. And they can be very, very yummy as well. So do drink your water. It will help your brain. It will help your energy. It will help with your digestion. It will help keep you regular. It will keep your skin looking brighter. There are lots and lots and lots of reasons why you should be drinking water. So hopefully some of these tips have inspired you and are helpful. If you would like any more helpful tips about any other subjects, please drop me a message and let me know, and I can record another episode on that in the future. That is it for now. Ciao!